All right, I'm joined now by Matt Horace, a former executive with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, also senior vice president with FJC Security Services. Matt, thanks so much for being with us. This killer drove 800 miles from Kansas City via Dallas, where he was apparently after the shooting there, to be here. It certainly gives you the sense that this person had been planning for some time to kill police officers.
Well, it sounds exactly that way, John, and also it gives us an idea as to his commitment to his pathological ideology. Certainly in the past, incidents like this, people have been exactly the same. They go through undue lengths to pull off these sort of capers.
What's so tragic here among the multitude of tragedies involved is that Montrell Jackson, age 32, one of the officers killed, he'd been writing lately about how challenging it is to be a police officer. Of course, here in Baton Rouge, they were dealing with the death of Alton Sterling, killed by police, an African-American man killed by white police officers. There's been protests here. In Montrell Jackson, who was African-American, wrote this: "I swear to God I love this city, but I wonder if this city loves me. In uniform, I get nasty looks, and out of uniform, some consider me a threat. I've experienced so much in my short life, and these last 3 days have tested me to the core." He also wrote, "Please don't let hate infect your heart." This is an officer, Matt, like so many officers around the country, a good officer doing good things, who'd been struggling with the difficulties of his job.
Well, you know, John, he makes great points. You know, we're here in D.C. now with the Noble Conference, and we discussed these very same issues. 1 minute we're protecting the public, the next minute we're concerned for our own safety because we don't want to be considered threats. He, like I, 6'2", 250, 260, you present that same visual threat to some officers that you may not present to others. So he makes great points, and God rest his soul.
You know, and you heard from him, and we've heard from officers all over the country that they feel right now that they're being targeted, that they're being hunted, Matt. And they have precautions. How could you not think twice if you're an officer right now when answering a 911 call?
Well, you know, that's very true. And you don't know whether it's a setup or some sort of sinister plot. But at the end of the day, the overwhelming majority of people that you come in contact with are good, solid citizens. And we have to always remember that when we put that badge and gun on. There will be those people like this suspect, anti-government zealots that are out on a mission that we have to be concerned with. But they rarely give you a clue as to what they're going to do next.
And police officers need to do their jobs. In the investigation here, 2 people had been detained and questioned and now released. We do understand from law enforcement that they believe this killer had been in contact with people here in Baton Rouge. They don't know whether or not, or we've been given no indication whether anyone else was involved with this attack. But you can bet, Matt, that that's exactly the kind of thing they're looking into right now.
Oh, you better believe, John. Investigators are going to be looking into his social media, his cell phone use, his computers, to try to determine who he was speaking to, what the extent of those conversations were, and what the extent, if any, anyone else had in this plot.
Because this guy's everywhere online. We're just looking at a few clips right now that we've cleared for use, but all over social media, spewing hate in some cases, and when not spewing hate, it's just strange conspiracy theories.
Well, you know, John, he wouldn't be the first one to do that. The Southern Poverty Law Center tracks organizations and people who do this for a living. They sit at their computers, they blog, they put out messages of hate all over. And, you know, the intelligence community follows these groups to the extent that it involves criminal behavior. But absent that, as you know, we have that freedom of speech issue here in the United States, and people do this quite often.
All right, Matt Horace, our security analyst. Matt, thanks so much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great morning.